see if the internet is kind to me tonight. Or not.
Please let it be kind.
Oh, did you guys hear about the GameStop thing?
No.
About people who had purchased bitcoins going in and basically buying out all the short sales or the short.
Well,
stuff?
it has nothing specifically to do with Bitcoin, but
I heard that's where a lot of the people who chose to join in had gotten their financing.
yeah, well, I mean, it's the Wall Street Bets subreddit, right?
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, GameStop stock was up 60% yesterday, was up 92% in trading today, and then up another 60% in aftermarket trading today.
Wow.
It's nearly up 1,000% since January 1st. And the reason why is because somebody on the Wall Street Bets subreddit noticed that one of the giant hedge funds had put out a short position, a massive short position on GameStop stock. To the point where 138% of the normally traded GameStop stock was shorted, which means there were more shorts than like generally available stock, which means some percentage of people were not going to be able to cover. So consequently, the people on the Wall Street Bets subreddit said, okay, well, you know how we can drive up the stock price? We can buy up a bunch of the publicly traded stock, which will cause the price to rise, which means all of those people with short positions are going to have to buy more stock themselves to cover their short positions, which means the stock price is going to go up even more, and more of the short positions are going to have to get covered.
So for us non-stock market...
So a short, roughly, is someone says... someone borrows a stock from somebody else.
More fury.
That pays them a little bit of money to borrow a stock.
How do you borrow
and then
a
sells
stock,
that
though?
stock. They borrow it and sell it right away.
And so they owe the person the stock even though they don't own it?
They owe the person the stock back. And the way that you make money on a short is then at the end of the borrowing period, you buy it back, hopefully for less money than you sold it for initially.
I see. So some really smart people are like, oh, well, a bunch of people are going to owe us, so let's artificially jack up the price by buying up all the public stock, and so that they owe us more money, and then we can sell everything at the end for a lot of profit.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
Theoretically.
Yep.
That's funny.
It gets worse. So this is a hedge fund that had tens of millions of dollars in short positions. If they buy up a bunch of stock to cover their short positions, they're just out money. They have been buying new short positions, is the way I understand it. So basically they're buying a new short position, so they borrow another stock to give to the person that they owed the old short position to, on the bet that eventually all the people on Reddit are going to have to sell. And then the stock price is going to drop a bunch, and then they're going to make the money back off their short position, and they're not going to lose a bunch.
Sounds risky.
They hope.
So you now have a hedge fund betting against the internet.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on the internet. And knowledge is
Um,
power. And now that people know that this thing is out there,
Yeah, more people
Yeah,
are gonna.
That's so. The other thing is the reason that the stock went up 60% after trading, after hours, is Elon Musk made a tweet. The tweet was game stonks, and linked to, oh, you are correct. You didn't hear me at all. I'm sorry.
Nobody else heard you.
No, everything was muted.
Darn. That was. We're sorry, everyone. We're not gonna go through that again.
Yeah.
I did just notice
Yeah.
how much taller Savenge's character is than mine, though. Like, look at this height difference.
Oh yeah.
oh
Like
yeah,
what?
but what about now? Now I'm like double.
Wait. Now I'm Ghost. It's fine.
I'm like
So-
both of you stacked together.
Seriously, like you're huge.
Yeah.
So we need to do a bunch of greater rifts.
Yep.
And-
I have
The Expanse.
and the Expanse. Yeah, well, that's coming. I have 23 greater rift stones.
I
And I tend to be
have.
the lowest.
I'm at
so-
30.
I have. Sorry, I'm doing controller. 25.
Okay, so we have at least 23. is
That
the
should take us
lowest,
through most of the night if we just
Yeah.
Yep.
keep burning through those.
So
Do-
yeah,
Do we want to do some empowered ones to level up gems
Do
at a
we?
lower?
All have to pick empowered, or is it individual?
No. Well, no, but so if we're doing empowered, because the cost goes up the higher level rift we do. So we could do like a level 60 or less. How much is it to empower level 60? 25 million? Yeah. So if we do a level 60 and do it empowered, instead of doing a level 90 and a level 90 costs.
Will my gems be 100% guaranteed at
71 million?
level 60 Greater Rift?
Yeah.
What level are you trying to level them up to? Is the question.
That is a good question. I have one at 55, 55, and 36.
yeah,
the
and
36
I'm
one
at 55,
should be.
55, 38.
Yeah. So if we do a 60, it means you can level stuff up to 50 at 100% chance.
Okay. And then after that, we can raise it up as we go. I'm good with whatever. Preferably
Yeah.
the not dying part.
Well,
Yeah.
if we're doing a level 60 is Torment 13. We're gonna blaze through it.
Oh, okay,
Like
good. Yeah.
that's not even a thing.
I'm on controller, so I'll just do whatever. Empower.
And somebody else is empowering it, or do we all have to click it?
We all
For you to empower it, you have to click it and spend
Okay.
the money.
So, are we going to be able to whack some goblins as well?
There will be no goblin
No,
in
but
the Greater Rift.
no, correct. Not in the Greater Rift. But is there a way that we could maybe do some goblin whacking to get the money back up?
Oh yeah.
I am way lower in funds than you guys
Well, we're only spending 25 million here.
are, and I only have 700 million. So it's not like I have as much as you guys.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we can do puzzle rings.
This is funny. I imagine this is like what legit rich people are like. Yeah, well, I only have 700 million, so
Right.
you know.
I'm so much poorer than you guys.
Yeah.
The top post right now on the Wall Street Bets subreddit is somebody with a $6 million position of GameStop stock.
Oh,
$6
dang.
million. Wow.
They made $5.5 million today.
Right, because of the increase in it. Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't suck.
No, that would be nice.
Well, you gotta feel bad for the actual company, though, right? Because GameStop.
No, the company's doing is great.
Are they?
Were having
I mean, I know.
financial difficulties,
So now they're not having
and
nearly.
now they're a much more valuable company.
They are more
'cause their stock
valuable, but
price-
is their business model still
well,
doing
yeah.
well? That's what I mean. It's like you have all this artificially inflated stock that's not really representative of the company, and eventually it's gonna pop, and the company, I wouldn't think is super viable these days.
No, they
That model.
But and that's one of the reasons the hedge fund did the short position, is because GameStop is not in a good financial position in general.
Right.
Oh, I found the exit.
Yeah, we went the wrong way from you. We're getting there. I mean, I'm super worried about time, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, so worried about time.
I don't know if we're gonna make it.
Hope I don't die.
Right?
I mean, the one problem with my build, though, is I do so little damage when my stacks fall off a frenzy. It's like, it's pathetic.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
really
good party.
pathetic.
There he is. Did he even?
Good evening, everybody.
Oh, he didn't attack once.
Is that
He
Zubin?
just
Yes, it is.
popped.
Hi,
Hi,
Zubin.
Zubin. He
Why?
just
Okay,
popped.
does it bug anybody else that every time you have to talk to her, she has to go through her whole
Yes.
dialogue? Like,
It's
You
really
can close it.
frustrating.
you still have to click like 3 times to close it. Why? I figured it out the first 3 dozen times.
Right?
So I didn't ask, but Chris actually made money off GameStop today. He did some day trading.
Oh, really? Okay, good for him.
I don't
Now-
know how much, but
Well, but here's the question: he doesn't actually get that money, any money that he's made on it, until he sells the stocks.
well, I think
Or
he did
did he
trade. I
actually?
think he bought in
So-
the morning and sold it at close today.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
I believe what he said is he nearly doubled his money.
Holy!
However much he was.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, that's a thing.
However much he decided to bet.
That doesn't suck.
That
No.
also does not suck. I mean, nice to be able to have the money to do that and
Yeah.
hopefully not be actually gambling in the stock market, but being
Well, I mean,
smart
it's always a
about the stock
gamble.
market.
Just
It's
some are
true.
less of a gamble.
Yep.
I mean,
Some are
tomorrow
more
it could
stable than
tank.
others.
That's the thing. It could tank. That said, if it tanks, it's probably bringing the hedge fund down. Well, no. If it doesn't tank, it's probably bringing the hedge fund down with it.
I got a potion that increases resist all by 55 for 5 seconds. If anybody wants it.
Oh, okay.
I like my Kool-Aid Waller Breaker.
Yeah. I think I'm alright.
The Kool-Aid Man.
GameStop stock is worth more than Walmart right now.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And Walmart is a much bigger company. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Well, size of
that's the
company
stock
isn't the
market right now.
only.
the stock market is so divorced from reality.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay, do another one.
Okay.
So you guys
Okay.
were at 38, 37, 38,
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
that
like
was
43.
5. That was 5 levels. So.
Yeah, so that was 5 levels. So you're 43 now. So we need, we can do this one more time, and then we'll have to go up a couple levels.
Hold
Buddies.
on.
Dead end. You guys are killing too fast. Nothing left for me.
Pylon.
Ah, explodies. Probably wouldn't kill me, but... Ah, okay. Never mind. It does hurt.
Yeah, I mean, this is still Torment 13.
What's my potion button on the controller? I don't even know.
I still find it so weird that you using controller.
I have my reasons.
I totally like. I totally believe your reasons. It makes
Very
a lot
valid
of sense.
reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying
It's
to
still
not
weird.
make my wrist forearm issue worse.
No carpal
Yeah.
tunnel.
Yeah, I don't truly know if it's carpal tunnel, repetitive stress, some other
There's
thing,
the
gaming
door.
too much, you know, whatever the reason. But
Yeah.
using a controller helps. Seriously
Yeah.
though, what is my...
Nope.
Where is he? Where is he?
Okay.
Where is he? Where is he?
Boss.
He's gonna be dead before I get there, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I got there.
Aha!
Take that, Gobnell, I got to hit him once.
One.
Wahaha. Oh, this time it didn't make me talk through all of her dialogue. Okay. I don't
Right? I just noticed that too. It's almost like it heard you complain or something.
know. It did.
So I need to step away for just a moment because the sweet little boy just decided to wake up, and
Okay.
I'm gonna go tuck him into bed.
Okay.
Be back in just a minute.
Gem level 56.
I can't do that here.
I'm gonna figure out what that key is on Joy to Key. Whatever Q.
Did you forget to
It is left on the D-pad.
In fact, I decided to
think.
get the
POV.
days eating out of the way.
Yeah, it's left on the
I
D-pad.
kept
Okay.
at it. Well done, champion. I gained new strength.
While Amory's doing that, you posted the summary from the Expanse, right?
I did. Yep.
Okay, I want to pull that up just to refresh my memory
Yep.
here.
In your Discord.
Yeah.
I will.
Is episode 7 the first or second one?
First.
Okay.
We'll be talking about 7 and 8 tonight.
Okay.
And I will go ahead and throw that link in my chat as well for anyone that's interested. And yes, so D3 doesn't support controller in natively. You need a keyboard to controller program, which there are a few.
I am using Joy to Key.
I'm
It's
back.
free. And it works pretty well.
Oh.
I am emptying inventory.
The program handles that with the joystick top hat. So you're not actually you're rapidly clicking in an area in a circle around you based on the joystick movement.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I skimmed through the recap of episode 7.
Oh. So yeah, 7 and 8. I was dreading these episodes
Why were you
From-
dreading them?
from the moment she met up with Philip. I was dreading them because I knew, like, the mom in me knew that it was not going to be good news.
True.
Like, she was the hope. She had that hope that she could get through to him and something good would happen, and it didn't at all.
Oh, at least
Yeah.
not
So-
yet. I should probably sell things.
I'm ready to go whenever you guys are.
I'm buying bracers.
So yeah, heads up warning: anyone who's watching, spoiler alerts about Expanse episodes 7 and 8.
Season
Whatever,
5,
whatever,
episode 7
Season
and 8.
5.
Yep.
So yeah, I thought it was really interesting that in the entire episode of entire episode 7, Amos was not in the show.
Yep.
Like they just didn't even.
I wish you
Hi, cat.
But
What-
honestly, it's a great way to represent travel time.
Yeah, he wasn't even there. Which was really interesting.
So that means it'll be my favorite episode.
You don't like Amos?
What's wrong with
Hate him.
Amos?
I think he's a douche.
Well, I mean, he's
So-
definitely got some issues.
Oh yeah. Oh holy crap, big guy's down here. And a pylon. Oh wait, 2 guys closer.
I'm here.
He's got some issues for sure.
He doesn't have a good moral compass. Or a moral compass. Maybe
He
I should
doesn't
just say
have
that.
a moral compass.
He has an amoral compass.
He relies on other people to really kind of know what's okay and what's not. 'Cause
But
he's-
what's interesting is that he recognizes that in himself. He understands that he doesn't have that moral compass and that he needs to rely on others to do it. So like at the end of episode 6, he said, I need to get back to my crew.
Yeah.
Because he realized he's slipping back to whatever mindset he was in. And he doesn't want to do that. So.
Well, it's like, oh, I shouldn't do that. Okay. Here's a
Oh, right.
pylon
I
here.
should. Pylon, yeah.
Yep.
And
Go
you're
ahead.
Grab
quite
it
close
close
enough.
enough. So, but I mean, it's interesting because I actually really like Amos's storyline, and especially currently with Clarissa and kind of her almost redemption.
Yeah. I actually watched an interesting coverage of the Clarissa Amos relationship that covered both the stuff in the show up through episode 8 and covered the bits from the books.
Oh, okay. Because I haven't read the book, so I have no
Right.
idea. I'm getting Pylon.
Well,
It's really it's not that different. The biggest difference is the no,
Boss.
Rift Guardian already.
Dead.
So the biggest difference is the
blood shards.
skipping the
Let's see what we can do.
travel back from the ring back to Earth to book her into prison, and all of that right there.
Why
Yeah,
was that?
because that
interest?
was a long trip, and she was with Amos and the crew
Yeah, because
for the entire trip.
it was the Rocinante that delivered her back to Luna
You look like you could use a
to
new item of,
deliver her into prison.
And don't forget, luck always
So-
changes.
I really need to empty my inventory more.
I had to grab blood shards, but I'm good now.
I need to go back.
I have stuff on the ground. I haven't done the anything.
I am basically only keeping things if they are ancient legendaries now.
Ditto.
Nice. That's a. Yeah, I should probably just. That's actually in my set.
I'm still waiting. Oh, here's an ancient legendary ring, Skull Grasp.
Nice.
I'm still wondering if she is going to be like turn the corner, or if she's just waiting for an opportunity once she gets away from Amos to.
Well, so.
But her motivations aren't like they used to be.
Exactly.
Yeah,
She
her
doesn't have
motivations
that
has drastically
motivation that she
changed.
used to.
Yeah, she's not sticking it to her dad or she's
Well, it was never about sticking it to her dad. It was about.
It was her sister that was sticking it to the dad, right?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
It was.
You gotta remember, there's two
Julie.
of them.
Yeah, it was Julie.
Julie Mao.
Julie Mao. So yeah, so Amos in episode 8, they get back to Baltimore. They, I guess, kind of convince dude, what's his name?
That is a fantastic question. Because it's
Mob boss.
Timmy and what?
And what's his name?
Eric.
Eric.
Yeah,
Yep.
Eric. Yeah. So,
I had to cheat and look
no,
at the
totally
recap
fine.
for the next one because I didn't remember.
met back up with Eric, even though he was like, "Yeah, don't ever come back here again." I thought that was an interesting,
What?
interesting thing too. And then convincing him that no, really, your town is destroyed and it's never gonna come back.
Yeah.
And you need to come with me.
Yeah, like
and
that-
he's like,
come
what?
on.
That story about the prisoner, that was creepy. The mom inmate that had
Oh
killed.
yeah. Who killed
Oh,
her
yeah,
own
yeah.
kids, and they kept saying that they're talking about them as if they were alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, but mental illness, man.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Fortune favors the bold. What?
I can.
So I am
I had that thing.
2 away from getting my 3rd stone up to 55, by the way.
I'm pretty close. I'm right in
Yeah,
there
you
somewhere.
should be probably 4 away. So 1 more rift just like that, we should be fine.
My other one's at 32.
Oh.
Oh, well.
Because
can
we
keep
only have to
going.
get 3 stones up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Deed was my father.
So
Maybe if
you're
I-
3 away from
Not here.
55, you said?
I am 2 away from 55.
Okay. So we'll go up to 70.
Are we
34
empowering
million.
still? Should I
Yeah.
empower?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's the only thing to spend money on.
No, it's not.
Well, like upgrading.
I have gems to make still.
But that's not that much money.
No way.
Well, it depends on how many
I-
gems you're doing, but
I'm just running, by the way. Sorry, guys. I hope I don't die. Knock on wood.
We're fine. It just got slowed down by 1 invulnerable 1.
yep.
So, okay, so we're talking about Amos, I guess, and
Yeah, for the moment. 'Cause
lady.
yeah.
Clarissa.
Larissa. Thank you.
Peaches.
Peaches. But again, like, it's interesting that that's, like, he uses a nickname for her. He doesn't even call her by her real name.
Yeah.
She has to correct him and be like, no, my Clarissa. I was like, oh, right. So they make it to Baltimore. They're trying to find a way to get off of Earth and back to Luna.
Which it sounds like they have a plan now,
Yes.
but they
Hopefully
needed
they
Eric's
can
help.
execute it.
Yeah. They're gonna go from Baltimore to the Hamptons, right? It's the
Yeah.
Hamptons that had the
To her
private spaceport for
Yeah.
the family mansion.
So that'll be interesting.
Oh.
Wait,
And that's pretty much where they
Pile
left
on.
the episode, right?
coming.
Was
Yeah.
as far
Yeah.
as their storyline.
You clicked
Yeah.
it when I wasn't there. Oh well.
Oh, well, sorry.
Hi.
Looks like you got the buff. You're glowing.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they left it that with them. Or at least end of episode 8. So episode 7 was when we realized that Naomi is fucked. And it's not
Royally.
actually helping her. Her son is not actually like
Going to be
changing at all.
yeah.
He's still trying to prove himself to his daddy.
Well,
He did have some hesitation though. Like you could see like some of the things he wasn't
Yeah.
100% on board.
Yeah. But-
He wasn't able to stand up to him, but he was like you could see some questioning like, "Huh, okay, I guess."
Yeah.
So he's
Which might be good later, but for now it sucks because she is now stuck on a bomb and
well,
trying to
okay,
survive.
You're skipping over something incredibly important though. So,
You're right.
So the whole
did.
scene, this is what I wanted to talk about. The whole scene with her old friend, I forget.
Sin.
Yes, him in the airlock. There's a couple things there that I was like, come on, seriously. So he's like, oh, I know that face. Yeah, I got 55 on 3 of them now. He's like, I know that, I'm gonna go try to stop her or whatever, and she was
Yes.
not gonna allow it, or she's not gonna. Sorry, not that's the wrong word, but
She's not gonna
she's
go through with
committed.
it.
She's doing it.
Yeah.
And so a couple things from that whole scene where I was just like, come on. So number one, whatever the hell she injected herself with, that made her
Liquid
like be
oxygen.
able to. Is that what it was?
Liquid oxygen. Yes.
Well, oxygenated blood.
Oxygenated blood. It was a shot of oxygen. They've used it a few times in the show before. Not very often, but a few times.
How does that protect you from like minus 273 degrees for like a couple minutes?
It doesn't necessarily protect you from that.
I mean, she got like
And it wasn't a
burns.
couple minutes. It was
I
like
got
30
another
seconds.
puzzle ring.
Well, I'm just imagining like, I don't know. It wasn't.
So I
Yeah.
actually so watching the after show gives some really interesting insights because one of them is the author of it, right? And he explained the research that they did. So basically the radiation that she would have gotten is kind of like just a really nasty sunburn, and she got it on the one side of the face more than the other.
I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried about the temperature.
So
And I realized like your core, like it takes a while for water or blood, which is mostly water. It has a pretty high specific gravity. Wait, not specific gravity.
It has a
no,
very temperature
Specific heat?
viscosity.
I think it's specific heat. Whatever. It takes a lot of energy to change temperature on it. But
Yeah.
that's a pretty big difference going from like 98 degrees to minus 270 something. And I just like
except what is there to like what's the transmissibility of the heat through vacuum?
I don't know.
Vacuum is a fantastic insulator, actually.
True. Yeah.
Because the only heat transmission is infrared, really.
And I didn't really think about
So
that.
she's not going to be losing her body heat very easily because it's not like the air is sucking it out of her, right?
Okay, that's fair. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah. The other piece though, it wasn't as obvious in the start of episode 2, but like she had swelling of her hands and her face, which evidently is a symptom of being in that vacuum for any length of time. So like the symptoms that she had on the ship when she's throwing up and really in pain and stuff like that from coming over between the two ships is scientifically fairly accurate to what it would actually be like for the amount of time that she was there. So,
and one of the reasons we know this, as the author brought up in the after show, is some scientists in the 60s accidentally got exposed to vacuum in some of their research and stuff. So we know how long a human body can survive in vacuum because, oops.
yeah.
Well, and again, there's multiple possible ways to die from being in space. There's the temperature one, which maybe is not quite as quick of a threat as based on what we just discussed. There's your body is under in Earth the pressure differential, your body is like always has pressure on it on Earth, but there is no pressure, so that's probably the swelling, right?
That's a lot of the swelling, and also why she exhaled as the door opened.
And it could just be like shock, it's like, why do people drown when they jump into cold water? Because you lose control of your muscles, or you exhale because it's so cold. Are the two common reasons. But to be able to not only like make that jump and get to the door on the other ship, and still have the wherewithal to be able to operate and get in there and close it, I guess.
Yeah.
They didn't show her close it. They just
They did. Yeah, they did.
Go
they
inside. Well,
they showed her go inside and close it.
Yeah. She hit
And
the
then
button on the inside.
and then the last thing that bugged me about that whole scene was, so she can survive that going all the way across, but they couldn't have closed the outer door and saved Sen?
Yes.
Like,
That's
what?
the part that made me sad. Because
Yes.
I was like, come on.
Like he is, like they're right there by the airlock, or the
he
don't
should
they have like a remote
basically
control?
been able to have survived as long as she, until she injected herself with the oxygenated blood.
Yeah, because he was like frozen stiff like immediately, and she's just
Yes.
like, I'm just gonna float across here, no big deal.
Yes. So I think that was a mistake on the author's part, or on the not on the author's part, on the TV writer's part. Is to make his death more impactful, probably.
Well, it would have made more sense, like, you know, he had caused too many issues, and Marco's just like, all right, you're done, and Marco spaces him or something.
Well,
then for him to just randomly die from the airlock.
Him dying because he wasn't expecting her to open the door and him get spaced. Except he was sort of expecting it. Like,
He was totally expecting it, but he wasn't. He was expecting to be able to talk her down.
out of it.
Like he did
And he,
long time ago.
and he didn't end up talking her out of it. He just saw her and noticed what she was doing. He didn't actually. She didn't know until the ship that he even saw her. She chose not to. That pylon down here. You guys this way. So yeah, I think Sin's death and then fucking Marcos's that Philip killed him, not her, and I was like, no. No.
That's some like
actually killed him.
psychological warfare stuff right there.
Yeah, that's bullshit. And
That's just
not
him
true.
trying to mess with his head.
Exactly. Which is why he's such a fucking asshole. Pylon over here.
The
whenever
actor
you guys
does
are-
a good job of being
Oh my god,
his
he
character.
does such a good job.
and that like whisper
and the
talk
fact
thing he
that-
does.
The fact that Marco's actor and Naomi's actor are friends and knew each other before they started filming, before you got hired onto the show, like that's the thing that I find interesting.
Yeah. But then also to find the actor that looks just so much like both of them and is doing such a great job as Philip. Like that they got gold there.
Well, and they got gold with Bobby too.
They did.
Oh, yeah,
oh my
Bobby's great.
god. I love Bobby.
Bobby is great.
And again, these two episodes we really didn't see much of Bobby.
No, we saw a little bit of them doing the transmission. Oh, that's the other thing. So I'm curious. Who is going to end up showing up first to Naomi's rescue?
It sounded like
maybe
Bobby
Beth?
and Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Drummer might too. Like Drummer
Yeah.
seemed like they were pretty close.
And especially with how...
Oh,
where did
there's
it,
the
where did
rescue.
it go?
It's over by me. Hello.
Hi.
I
we're
got it.
coming.
Don't worry.
Okay, good. But I need to come.
Well, but all of the loot and everything's up there too, so.
Yeah, we're coming.
Yeah, so, I mean, do we want to talk about kind of how that episode ended then? I mean, we got to talk about the bomb ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we gotta talk about the bomb ship. I need to go drop off blood shards and then come back, so don't close this rift yet.
Okay.
So bomb ship and her work on that ship right now. And what she's trying to actually do with that ship is really interesting to me.
Well, from what I
Yeah.
understand, so she has no control over anything in the ship, and the only thing she can do is mess with the message.
Yeah.
She can't even change
And
the
not
message.
even the way that she wants to.
Yeah, she only could like temporarily cut out the message at specific points.
Yeah. Which I always knew Naomi was like really
Smart.
clever and and smart and capable, but to realize what she was doing, like it took me a few minutes of watching to realize what she was really doing, and because like you saw in her eyes the moment she started switching and was like, okay, well, I'm gonna try this thing now.
Well, it took me most of the episode to figure out why she was actually repeating it. I thought
Yeah, exactly. I was like, why is she saying it over and over again?
it was
And then
more
I
like her
realized-
just to keep her sanity. She was like, I may as well just repeat this thing that keeps repeating. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was actual, like there was,
It was for a point. And,
yeah, purpose there until
Yeah.
the end.
I did the same thing. I was like, what is this even? What do you even mean right now?
She going
And
cray
then-
cray?
Yeah. And then I realized, like, and then, so did you notice that she was leaving marks on the wall?
Yeah, every time she went into the vacuum or the no air area, she'd come back
Yes.
and put a mark.
She would put the mark before she left.
Oh,
Do you
before
know
she
what
left,
that was
sorry.
about?
No.
Okay, so right before, she looked at a little placard, and we couldn't read it at all, right? But it was
Yeah,
basically
I could not read. It was just blurry enough.
Yeah. It was basically it was the dimensions of that room. So she figured out how much oxygen she was losing each time she opened that door.
Ah,
And so those marks were how many, like each time she would do it, it was keeping track of how many times she did it so that she knew when she couldn't anymore. And that's also why each time she came back, she was a little bit more tired and it like getting more fatigued each time because the oxygen in the ship that was there was getting thinner and thinner.
Somebody needs to go back and level their gems.
Oh, I think I might need to.
I
not?
leveled my gems. Yeah, I didn't put that together until you said it, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was one of those like, oh, yeah, like, and the fact that it was so fast, she looked at the wall, she calculated super fast, she decided how much time she had, and that was that. But then like watching her struggle with that was hard. It was hard to watch.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So now you have some insight, Gobnell, because you've read the books past this point. You
No spoilers.
kind of already knew that she was going to make it, right? Like we had the hope that she was going to make it, but you
Right.
actually like know that her storyline keeps going.
Right.
Okay.
I can't.
And
Well-
yes, definitely no spoilers.
Well,
because
her
I haven't
message
read it.
says, "I'm in control" or something.
I'm in the nav room.
Oh, was it in
Our
the
control.
control?
I think it was like it was telling them what room she was in.
But
No, it
What
wasn't
was-
that specific.
I thought it was just said, "I'm in control," or with all of the cutouts. This is Naomi Nagata. I'm in control, and that's basically what I got out
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah.
I'm
So
ready
so
to do whatever you guys, whatever.
I'm ready whenever. Just running around town.
Fortune favors the
So yeah,
brave.
pretty much like a huge chunk of season or of episode 8 was her in that ship,
yeah.
figuring out how to survive.
More fury.
And I thought that was really interesting that like it was very Naomi focused.
Well, I
Yep.
mean, it's important to the story, though, for multiple reasons. Holden has been kind of like this figurehead for the galaxy or whatever, and he's at risk. They're all split. They were all split up, and now they're somewhat coming back together.
Hopefully somewhat coming back together.
Well, they potentially all might be coming back together.
For the
If-
first time all season.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many episodes are left this season?
I think we're going to 12.
Yeah. So 4?
Yeah.
We keep getting those pylons right before the next floor.
Yeah, I've been noticing that.
Come on, guys.
I'm walled.
Sorry.
Yeah, like it's weird. Like the only storyline that has two main characters together is Alex and Bobby, and they're kind of getting the least amount of screen time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah,
Still
all
trying
of
to.
the filming was done before the scandal arose, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So this, well, so I was gonna say, so this is what was expected, but
Well, and it's one of those things. Like they may have edited a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Just to diminish some dialogue if they felt like it was necessary. I'm not totally sure they felt like that was necessary.
yeah,
And like it may have just been that this is how much dialogue was in this season for him, right?
yeah,
And actually, that's one of the reasons why I feel like Alex is going to be easier to write out than a lot of other characters would be. It's back here.
it was.
He doesn't have as much direct impact on the broader plot as a lot of the characters do.
Yeah.
Other than he never seems to get the ship blown up.
He comes
Well,
up with
yeah.
some crazy, weird ideas for his piloting, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I need to
yeah,
go back.
that there are others that can do that pretty easily as well. It'll be interesting to see when Bobby meets up with them again, what she does. We haven't touched at all on
Avasarala?
Avasarala.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, and her change in stance from when she was in charge.
Yeah.
Because if you remember back to season 1, episode like 2 or 3, she's basically torturing a belter.
That was episode 1.
Was that episode
That
1?
was literally the first time you see Avasarala. Is she was torturing the smuggler.
Yeah.
The guy that was like
Or
on
in-
the hooks,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
letting gravity do the torture.
Yep.
And now she's like, well, blowing up palace stations probably actually not a good idea right now, maybe.
Yeah, and then the admiral guy is like, "What are you doing?"
Does everyone have everything from this rift?
Yep.
Your
Wait, was it?
skill has grown. The ancient
But
makes
I mean, there's some good points to be made in that conversation. Like the belters, there is a risk that you're going to take the ones that are maybe neutral and turn more against you, and they don't have like dedicated military places like
Exactly.
Mars and Earth
Yeah.
used to.
You're dealing with fighting against a insurrection's the wrong word.
It's like
Militia?
guerrilla warfare versus
Guerrilla warfare. Thank you.
It's like the revolution, right?
Well,
Except the
I was-
belters are the
I-
Americans, and everybody else
No,
are the.
I was gonna say more like ISIS, but
Well, okay.
because really, I mean, like part of what they're fighting is the people that want to set up their own state. So I think that analogy actually kind of fits.
I hadn't thought about that, yeah. But then she's
I mean-
struggling with, I guess maybe kind of, I don't know. It didn't seem like she did. It didn't seem like she minded not being in power.
Well, she's
Um,
got a lot going on, I think.
Well,
she
yeah.
Like her
doesn't know
husband is-
anything about her husband.
Well, yeah, they were separated, and then he might be toast, and
I don't think they were really separated.
I mean,
He didn't follow her on her new job position.
But they didn't seem to be on the best of terms right
No.
at the end there either.
Nope.
And that's
Yep.
something to consider.
Yeah.
You cannot stand before me.
So, yeah, I mean, she's got a lot going on, and I think especially with the information that she's getting from everyone else,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see. Like, I think people will take her more seriously again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And maybe listen to her when she fucking says there's asteroids coming at them.
Stealth asteroids.
I mean, you know, stealth asteroids are a thing. Maybe you should listen to the person who has intel on it.
Well, and that the guy that is has taken over, like, he seems like he's getting up to speed quicker. Like, the first time we
Yeah.
saw him, he seemed pretty inept, but now he's like, okay, well,
he was reading a speech.
But
Right.
I mean, he had a speech written.
but
And
he
either
was
wrote
also
it or
in.
Somebody else wrote it, but
I was talking more about, like, in that control room, whatever situation.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
in the meeting.
Yeah, he seemed to be more confident with, you know, he let people speak, but then, you know, he did the leader thing and it's like, okay, this is what
Well,
we're doing.
I mean,
let's table this for now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he has governmental experience. I mean, he's
but not as a leader.
he was in, like,
I mean,
transportation
he
or
was-
something.
But he
Yeah,
was
he-
like the head of transportation, so
Yes.
he could actually still have
so
leadership.
so he has he had the job that Boogig has now.
Okay.
Let's see the gem.
I don't care about these 2 blood shards. It's literally 2.
2.
Two.
Yeah, not worth.
I don't care. So we're trying to get gems up to, what's the final level for the final part of the season? 60 or 65?
55.
55
I'm at
was?
60 and 61. Fine.
My 3 are at 60.
Okay.
I'm returning to town.
So I'm not sure
Yeah,
how.
The season conquest. Oh no, it's 3 gems to 65.
Okay.
Oh. I'm closing in. I'm still at
That's what I
100%, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I've
I am
been
too.
raising the difficulty. That was a 75. So, because it's the greater rift level has to be, to get 100%, it has to be 10 levels higher than what you're leveling it up to.
So 75 should be fine for the rest.
Ooh, ancient legendary.
The
Two-handed.
ancient rapid strike.
Not getting nearly as many Paragon points.
No. Since we've gone down 20 greater left levels?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, I'm only getting like 3. I got a barbarian set piece. Seriously?
I got a monk belt.
So we've talked Avasarala, we've talked Naomi. We haven't really talked Holden, but he wasn't doing all that much yet. He's just
Well,
flying
so,
around.
but he did make the decision to go after Naomi instead of the proto-molecule this time.
True.
Which was one of the things they brought up in the after show, which I was amused at, is their,
That's his growth.
yeah. Whereas his growth last time was to go after the proto-molecule and not go after Naomi.
Yeah.
That whole
That growth in
situ-
which direction?
well, growth
I mean,
in
progress
in,
as a character.
yeah, situational decision making.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fortune favors the
So,
bold.
watching the after show for episode 8
I cannot
was
afford that.
really, really interesting because the guest speaker they had on was the other writer.
hmm.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it was
actually and if you watch none of the other after shows, I think the episode 8 one
That's the one to watch.
is the one to watch.
So
Because
far,
I have seen interviews with them together before.
I've avoided all of the after shows.
So I thought I would watch this one mainly because they don't talk about the show that much.
Yeah, they don't talk about the individual episode.
They do a little bit at the start, and then once the writer comes in, it's just them shooting the shit, and it's really cool to listen to.
How did the two of you meet?
Yeah.
Like how did the Expanse come together as a story? Like when did you know how the series was going to end?
Yeah.
And they were like about halfway through book 2. We knew what the final scene of the entire series was going to be about halfway through book 2. Like, okay.
So, which is one of the reasons I'm enjoying this show so much, because it's clear they have a clear vision of an end. Unlike a lot of shows where, like, even big ones like Game of Thrones, they had these great books to base it off of, but they didn't have an ending.
Yeah.
And
well,
so,
no, they did have an ending. Sort of.
but okay.
They had a description from George R.R. Martin as far as how the series was going to end.
Okay.
They did
Pylon
not
down
have
here?
the books to go off of that they in the way that they had been.
The steps it took to actually get there. Yeah. But yeah, so but it's really interesting, and so it took me until this episode, like the other person that's with Wes Chatham who plays Amos, by the way, actor is completely different from character.
I believe that. Yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
The other person is Ty Frank, who is one of the writers for the show. Well, I didn't realize, no, he is the world builder of the show. He's the one who built this world as a tabletop, and then they started writing it. So, like, he came up with Belters and the different factions and, like, what that kind of looked like, what all of those pieces, and then they seriously played tabletop for a while, and like some of these amazing.
It was the two of them and their wives in the tabletop game.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So like, it was just really interesting listening to them talk about each other and how they met in the books and all of that stuff. And
there's a pylon down here.
I see it. Go ahead. So yeah, if you don't watch any others, that is still definitely.
Yeah. And one of the things, another pylon.
We'll wait till.
I'll save it they're from, or the other writer's from Arizona, and he was part of a writing group in Arizona, which is how they met each other basically through this writing group through one of the local Arizona Comic Cons.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting glitches.
Yeah, I've been getting some lag issues now and then as well, but
like guys falling dead that weren't anywhere near you. Interesting. Anyway, sorry.
And so, but like back in season 1, there's the Shed character. So he was apparently actually one of the other players in the game that had joined from the writing group.
I don't remember Shed.
That didn't.
He was the medic that was with them from the first original ship, the
Canterbury.
The Canterbury, remember the Cant?
Yeah.
I didn't remember the name of it, which is funny. I have shards to get, and it's more than one.
I need to go back.
I will go to town and then come back. So yeah, he when they first get taken in by the Martian military, he gets his head blown off, basically.
Yep. Beheaded by a railgun that makes its the hole through both in episode 4.
I don't remember, but yeah, that's
Okay.
okay. I don't need to remember either.
I mean, also he was there for episodes, and then
Yeah, but he looked like he was going to be a series regular.
yeah,
Like he looked like it was going to be the 5 of them, not the 4 of them.
Then they went all Game of
Maybe with-
Thrones on him.
Yeah, exactly, right? But apparently he was one of the other players in the tabletop RPG, and his death was the character getting written out. I don't know how many sessions into the game. So
You look like you could use a new item of.
I thought that was
indeterminate
interesting.
forget.
But the
Too
so
expensive.
the other thing is the other writer was George R.R. Martin's writing assistant.
Interesting.
which makes me appreciate that he knew what the final scene in the books would be on book 2 out of 9.
Lessons learned, maybe?
No, so he
No way.
left as Martin's writing assistant.
Impressive.
I
I grow in power.
think probably after book 1. Like fairly early into the series, but basically about the time that Martin stopped putting out books,
Which was like book
Basically-
5 or something.
when the TV show started. And I don't know what, like, I'm sort of implying an association there that I don't actually think exists, but
It might.
it
But when the
might.
TV show started, it was about when I lost interest in the Game of Thrones because I had been reading the books and I really enjoyed the books up through 4 or 5. And then I tried watching the show and I don't know. Some of the characters did well, but
Yeah,
the story also moved away from what I like. It's like Walking Zombie, The Walking Dead.
Walking-
It became less about the political, all of that stuff, and more. Or it looked like it was going to be more like magical. The whatever those the people were from the Frozen area and
Oh, yeah,
dragons and all that stuff, and so it wasn't about the like political backstabbing and all of the other things that made it interesting to me to begin with,
yeah. Oof.
like The Walking
Wait,
Dead.
Why are we doing a level 80?
I'm bumping it up just a little bit
Unleash your
because if you guys are getting close to 65, basically I don't want to risk. I mean, we can always do higher, right? I don't want to risk losing or missing an upgrade that we're spending a bunch of points.
Okay. I mean, I think. Yeah. Okay. So that we can go higher than 65 and not. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, the books and the show and everything I think went a different direction than where they started, which I liked what it was before.
Yeah.
Not everything
Well,
has
I
to
think-
go all like crazy. It's like the old show Lost, right? What a great
Right.
premise for a show. And then the writers were on crack or something. I don't know. But it just
Well,
went totally
again,
sideways.
Another show that didn't know where it was going to end.
Did I hear a goblin?
No, there aren't actually goblins in here
Oh, okay. Or there's goblins.
because
just not
nothing drops
treasure
loot.
goblins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
treasure.
yeah, it may have been one of those because there's the explodey goblin-like guys that aren't actually goblins.
Yeah. But speaking of Lost, there's that show that I watched called The Wilds or something like that, which is
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of similar to the start of Lost. And I actually enjoyed it. I watched the whole first season, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't quite what I thought it would be, and by the end of it, I was like, huh, okay. And they left it open for another season, which I assume they're making, but I recommend watching it.
Yeah. I watched a fun action movie on Netflix called Old Guard. It's one of those Netflix original movies. But I was very annoyed that they basically left it open at the end of the movie. Like it felt like Charlie's Angels, like team origin story kind of thing at the end. And I really dislike that in movies specifically.
Yeah. It's different when it's a show.
Yeah, it's different when it's a show. It's like, oh, okay, they wanted another season. This felt like, okay, this is a movie, but they want to have more. And like, I don't think it was that good. Like, and I felt like the Bright movie on Netflix with Will Smith, which I enjoyed it for what it was, but I think again it set itself up as, we have this bigger world. Isn't it going to be cool when we can make you another movie or make you a TV series or whatever? And it's like, why?
I actually didn't watch that movie. That's one of the few Will Smith movies I haven't watched.
I enjoyed it. I liked it for what it is. I mean, I'm a big fan of Shadowrun, and it was Shadowrun the movie.
Oh, nice.
I mean, it was slightly less cyberpunky than Shadowrun, but
one of the things that was brought up in the after show that I think kind of hit a chord with me that I hadn't thought about before is that in writing these books, they were very specific about not writing these books for sci-fi nerds, but to actually have it be more accessible to those who wouldn't necessarily read a sci-fi book. And I thought that was really an interesting.
Well, it's more of a drama than
it's a
action
drama.
or nerdy sci-fi.
Yeah. They call it a space opera.
Sure, space drama.
Yeah. But I thought that was an interesting, like, viewpoint to have, is just be like, yes, it's a sci-fi, yes, it's whatever, but it's not like, it's not exclusionary for people who don't necessarily read sci-fi
I cannot
or watch
afford
sci-fi.
that.
yeah.
So I need like one more to get up to all my gems up to 65. I'm good.
Yeah, I think one more as well. I mean, I don't die.
Yep. Same.
One interesting parallel that I was
Ancients would be
finding that I was comparing as Babylon 5
Yeah.
has now made its way onto HBO Max,
Okay.
and I started to watch it to sort of re-see it now.
Yeah.
Some of the animation, the computer graphics are very dated,
They don't look
but the
old.
story and plot is still solid.
Yep.
And it is interesting to make some of the parallels in terms of just popular sci-fi drama.
So you know that I didn't see Babylon 5 until I started doing the weekly Babylon 5 nights with Russell and Tiffany.
Probably
Right.
because you were too young to see it when it came out.
Not really, but
too young to be interested in it when it came out.
Yeah.
Probably.
It was above me. I mean, we're close
it
enough
was
in
very
age.
much like an adult, a more adult show than like even Star Trek. Like we watched Star Trek, but it had more lighthearted kind of
Yeah.
moments, right?
I watched The Next Generation,
Yeah.
and I tried to watch Deep Space Nine.
So, but Babylon 5 is one of the it was the gateway for getting to know Russell and Tiffany better. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know them very well before that, and then we started doing weekly nights, and then we switched to manga or anime, and then we switched to watched all the Harry Potter movies together, and then I made them watch Twilight because I'm sadistic.
They made me watch Avatar.
But we watched Twilight with
Wait.
Which Avatar?
Last Airbender.
The
They-
one that doesn't exist?
Yeah, the one
What?
that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. The movie
What?
or the show?
The show.
Oh, why is it they made you? That's a fantastic show.
It was the.
I'm actually
Billy
watching that
Bob-
right now with my kids.
I'm trying. My kid's not interested. Or no, more accurately, my kid wants to fight like them and doesn't have training.
So
I
the
don't let him.
the initial advertisement on it and the way it was presented to me made it seem more like a kids show, despite the fact
It is a kids show.
that I liked and watched anime. It
Yeah.
was just at the time it was just like it wasn't really on
It
my
was on
radar.
Nickelodeon, and
Yeah.
It was on Nickelodeon, and so a lot of Nickelodeon shows I didn't give them
Yeah.
much effort to show that sometimes quote unquote kids shows can have depth and actually can be meaningful for adults to watch as well.
Yeah.
And,
honestly, I
Pylon
credit
over here.
a good chunk of that transition of kids shows being more watchable by adults to Pixar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of deeper meaning
movies.
in some of those movies.
I
Up.
because before it was especially in Hollywood, it was okay, we'll throw in some adult jokes that'll go totally over the kids' heads, and that'll be our
Must be
nod
funny.
to the parents to let them
Suffer through
know-
2 hours.
to make them stand the 2 hours that they're with
Yeah.
their kid in the
So
stupid
when the kids ask, "What does that mean, mommy?" Then they go, "You'll understand when you're older."
yeah, exactly. But Pixar proved you could actually have good content for adults, not one-liners and little jokes.
I would say it's taken Pixar a while to evolve that direction, or maybe it was just
No,
that
it was
they
there
were
from the beginning.
under contract from Disney.
No,
Because
I
I didn't think that shows like I don't really think that like Toy Story I don't find doesn't have very much depth to it.
Really?
The early stuff, not so much. I would say probably the most recent was that Toy Story 3?
4.
4, excuse me. Toy Story 4 I
Haven't seen,
thought
but
was good. It's just that I don't know. I thought that the first Toy Story was a bit juvenile, and it was much more like this is a Disney animated film, and it puts stuff in it for parents, or they have voice actors that parents can at least go, "Hey, I know who these people are that are doing the voices."
See,
But,
it seemed like more than that. I think it was, I think it was more than that for the first one.
Oh,
I died because fire.
Ditto.
Wow, you both died to fire almost at the same time.
Well, there goes my bonus.
I think I'm still okay because I think I only. But still.
That's get out.
Yeah, don't die again. That would suck. Okay, here it goes. Here's the boss.
I think I'm gonna be one short now.
Oh.
Probably. I guess we'll find out. I've been watching Avatar with the kids. Oh no, I'm gonna be just.
Oh no. Avatar is a beautiful series.
Yeah, we've been enjoying it. There's some good little humor in there. It has a good balanced story. I mean, it's nothing like earth-shattering,
Yeah.
but it's solid. Yeah, Toph is awesome.
Sokka's the best comedy relief ever.
Yeah,
Toph
Sokka's great.
Yeah, Sokka's. Yeah.
He actually, you know who? Whenever I hear Sokka's voice, it reminds me of Dak. If you've ever listened to Dak
Oh.
talk,
Okay.
who is a TG person, yeah, he has a very similar voice.
So, slightly off topic. Do you guys know who Lee Sin is in regards to League of Legends?
Yes.
He's
No,
the blind monk.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I saw a alternate art version of his card for Legends Runeterra today.
Was it Toph? Was it
No.
totally Toph?
No, standard art. The text was in Braille on a digital card game.
I mean, classy.
Wait, what? How does that work?
It doesn't. That's
It doesn't.
The joke.
But he's the blind monk, so his card is written in Braille.
Wow.
It says I didn't claim my reward, but I did. I swear I did.
There we go.
Oh, you hadn't claimed your reward.
Bottomless potion
Got
of
it.
chaos. Random teleport.
Eh. I got a potion too. I didn't even check what it was. I just threw it in my bag.
Yeah.
I got bottomless potion of chaos as well, and I have bottomless potion of mutation.
We're almost done with book 2 on watching Avatar, and Toph just learned to bend metal.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
And yeah. What's her face? The
I've gained new
Zuko's evil sister person is just taken over Ba Sing Se, the Earth
Yeah.
City,
Okay.
Kingdom City. I don't know if you remember any of the storyline, but that's where we're at.
Oh, I've
vaguely.
watched it very recently.
Like I said, I tried, and Kiddo got like 3 episodes in, and then wanted to dance around like he was bending and then fighting, and I was like, and we're done.
Okay, serious question.
Yeah.
I had this question with my kids. If you had to pick one element to bend, you can't be the Avatar, which one would you pick and why? I totally know what I would do.
I would probably go water.
You look like you could use a new
Because
item.
water can be used for so many things, like erosion and weather control, and I feel like it would give me a lot of good options. And spoilers, blood control. You know.
Water is very versatile and
It is.
healing.
Yeah, and it can heal. It's
Yep.
a good one.
So which one would you do?
I totally would do air. I think air can do a lot of things. I mean, I think earth is cool too. And yeah, shout out to water because water is very versatile. But my daughter in the background. That's what I said.
Well done.
But
I agree.
the mobility of air, and air in some ways can counter most of the other elements.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not super effectively, but yeah, it can more or less counter water and fire pretty much outright, and earth to some limited degree,
Yeah.
especially when you factor in mobility.
You
I,
look like you could use a new
if I
item
had to
now.
choose based on other parts, I would choose air because I want a bison.
Yeah. Appa is pretty sweet.
See, and the
is-
funny thing is, I'd probably choose Earth, actually.
Earth would be my number 2.
I mean, you are pretty grounded, but
But
Why
that's
would
only
you do
because
that?
Toph is a badass.
right?
She is awesome.
So I would do Earth because it has the most kind of day-to-day application
Okay.
in a lot of ways.
It's like, I want a chair right here. No, I'm kidding.
Well, but it's always Earth is always there, as opposed to water, where you'd have to maybe carry your own supply or
well, I mean that's easy.
find a
But
source.
but it's but it's also like what it's the travel aspect.
Yeah, Toph had her little like disco slide on the Earth thing, so she could move around.
Yeah. And metal bending, honestly,
Which is pretty awesome.
would be neat.
How about lava
Um,
bending?
Lava.
That count as Earth, or
It is.
I
It is.
don't think-
It is a
it's
very.
liquid Earth, so
Yeah, it's a variant of Earth.
Yeah. Have you seen Korra?
Korra.
No.
I think
I
I
have
did a
not seen
long time ago.
I have seen it.
It's been
You-
long enough that it feels fresh again to me for this one, and we'll probably end up watching Korra afterwards.
Okay.
Gobnell, you were wrong. You said up to 65, but it's actually 3 legendary gems up to 7.
No, you finished the tier.
I'm looking through. Conqueror is up to 55. Cool. Awesome. Guardian is up to 70.
Oh, okay.
And on we go.
I
Yeah.
say I would probably agree with Savenge on the air thing. It is subtle and more powerful than people would realize.
Plus,
Yeah.
it's really freaking fun. Like, who doesn't want to fly? I mean, I guess to some extent, like maybe if you had a lot of control of fire, you could make yourself like a jetpack. Not make it, but kind of jet around or something. Maybe.
Did it send the invite?
I hit yes. I
No.
thought.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah, I think we've even seen Azula power herself with fire to do higher than normal leaps,
But
as
that
it
seems
were, and kind of fly.
but that seems kind of dangerous. Whereas air, it's just like, okay, I can
Yeah, but
I can use
Then
my
there's the-
little glider thing and fly pretty much forever, or I can fall from pretty much any height and be okay because I can bend enough that I'll be fine.
Isn't there actual flying via fire in Korra? Oops.
Pillar over here. Oh, you died.
I
Did I-
think so. I don't know why I don't remember it
I
that
don't
way.
remember which
Even
element
though
is
I've
light.
recently watched, I've recently watched it because I watched all the way through both
Yeah.
Last
I was-
Airbender and Legend of Korra.
I was hoping to watch Legend of Korra with Kiddo together and experience it with him for the first time since we did get through original.
Yeah.
Another
Well,
pylon over
and
here.
it's one of those things like he's kind of a little bit young still for
Yeah.
Airbender.
Yeah. And yet he wants to watch, pardon my French, fucking Power Rangers. Like,
Ugh. Power Rangers.
no. I
Ah.
let him because I love my kid and I want him to be happy. And he needs to know what terrible TV is too.
But will he view it as terrible, or will he just view it as, hey, look, they transformed again?
I don't know because I remember growing up on it too, so I can't say for sure. I totally watched Power Rangers.
See, I was
To me,
just a
it
little too
seems
old for that.
Like he's the things that he's keying into are things that would have like an active counterpart outside of watching the show, and
yeah.
it's inspiring him to want to do something similarly active.
Yes, and so I've had to cut a lot of shows out for a while because he would start hitting, and I'm like, that's never gonna be okay. So if you can't control your body and not hit mommy, then you don't get to watch shows that have any hitting or violence at all. Period. And luckily he is in control of that better. I mean, he's 6. It's not like I expect him to be able to do it all perfectly, but I do expect him to, you know, be smart with his actions. Wow, there's one right here.
Well, I found it amusing when he got up from sleeping, I think it was, and I was watching Lupin. He recognized that it was a adult show, or a show that wasn't meant for him.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. I forget exactly what he said, but he like suggested that I could turn it off before he came into the room.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely getting better with recognition. Except that even tonight he came in,
I need to go back.
wanted to watch what I was doing, and I'm like slashing spiders and monsters willy-nilly, and I'm like, no, sorry, honey, this is not a show for a game for you to watch. We have lots of others that you can watch, and this just isn't one of them.
Has he played Baba Is You again?
No, he hasn't played much of anything.
I kind of
at
figured.
least not with me. He hasn't really had much time.
Yeah.
He read some books on his tablet today, which was awesome. He's done some stuff like that, but he hasn't really... I haven't opened my laptop in a while. So... I got another puzzle ring. Okay, can we please do some... Because I'm at 5.
But I only need 2 more runs, and then I'll have 70 on everything.
Okay, we can do those 2 runs. That's fine, but... Rings?
All right. I think I'm gonna get going.
All right, thanks
All right.
for hanging out.
Thank
Have
you
a good
for
night,
letting me
Zubin.
crash and
I grow.
talk about stuff. Anyway,
Absolutely.
Yep.
see you later.
Bye.
See ya.
Yep. Yeah, we started watching Avatar on Netflix, and then we canceled our Netflix, and we were like halfway through book 2. And my kids were really bummed, and then we're like, oh, it's on Amazon Prime, so we just picked it right up where we left off.
Nice.
I
We
missed a phone call. I'll be right back.
okay. We ended up buying it on DVD as it was being released, so one section of the book at a time. It was like 5 episodes a disc. So we sunk a lot of money into it, and I'm pretty sure we got rid of them.
Well, it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Well, I have Amazon Prime and Netflix, so I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm double covered.
Yeah, I've definitely gotten some laughs, and it's entertaining. It's definitely not made for adults, but it's not cringy watching it either.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
I don't find my attention drifting watching that show.
I don't find myself intentionally tuning it out.
Right. And we do 1 to 2 episodes at a time, so 22 minutes an episode. It's not that much investment.
Yeah.
Okay.
All good?
Yeah. My grandparents called to tell me to call you. Or no, not tell me to call you. To tell you to call them.
I need to call your grandparent.
Yes.
That would be lovely. I don't have their phone.
Oh, I'll fix that later.
Okay. All right.
I should probably spend my blood shards again.
Yeah, I just...
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
you're not
wondering
going
if the magazine that they got me for Christmas started going to their house instead. That could be. Because I was wondering, like, it's been a month and nothing came of it, so I was wondering if that might be.
Maybe. Oops.
All right. Yeah. So 2 more runs for me, and I'll
Okay.
get it, assuming I don't die. Not that I guess I don't know if I'm really pushing all the seasonal challenges. So if you guys want
It's
to do
true.
something else, I don't really care.
No, I'm good for a while. I'm just down to 0.5 mil, so I would like to actually, but we can do
Half
it.
a billion, you mean?
Yeah, 500 million. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm down to
500.
800 million. So
See? All right, I'm starting the next rift.
Oh, 1 second.
Okay.
I'm swapping gems. Pulling my level 35 legendary out in exchange for my level 71.
Oh, we didn't talk about drummer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we missed.
yeah, she's kind of in a not great position.
Because she
Oh.
has no idea that Naomi's still alive.
Well, by the end of the episode, her friend, we'll say, shipmate, I don't know what the relationship is there.
Family.
It's complicated. Family.
Well, it
Um,
wasn't family. It wasn't the family member though. It was the plant from
but
Inaros.
but they were sitting
Yeah.
with that person, and then they
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, why is the message cutting out? That's weird."
Yeah.
She's
She on the
dead. So
ship? Wait, what?
so now she's gonna know that something's up at least.
Yeah, which means Inaros might know, which means they might
Ah, almost died.
have- don't die, don't die.
Yeah, it's
That
because
was
I
a
didn't
rough
have my
start.
attacks going.
Yeah,
You're going that way.
it's fine, it's fine. I'm going up. and
Stupid
down.
shaman resurrecting
Ah!
the little guys.
I'll come back down.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's a good chance Drummer's gonna find out that she might not be dead pretty soon.
Well,
Like,
and
next
that's the
episode.
question is Drummer gonna get to Naomi before Alex does?
Is she gonna
Or
get there
Alex
before
does.
Oh
Alex
yeah,
does?
because she said set a course for there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that until you just said that.
Or is she going to get there before Inaros does? Because if what's her face tells Marcos that she's in there and alive, what would? Oh, there's a thing over here. A pylon. Oh my god, I'm getting hit.
Coming. Maybe
Fine, I got it.
shamans.
Yeah.
We're
Lots of
feeling
shamans.
This is feeling
much
harder.
harder.
Yeah. Why?
Because there's 8 bajillion shamans and they keep reviving stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta focus on the shaman. Like and plus the shaman have a little bit more
I
hit
can't
points than the-
focus on anything. That's
You
not
shoot
how my
everything
character
at once.
works. I
I-
shoot all the things. I'm messing. It's fine.
But yeah, so Drummer's
So yeah, drummer.
her situation with Marcos is tentative at best,
Yes.
and you know she's kind of forced into where she is right now. But I think if an opportunity presents itself, she'll be all over Tikkun, rectifying her earlier mistake about voting to save him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there's that whiskey,
Yeah.
which that whiskey was the bottle that she gave to
The guy,
Ashford.
Ashford, yeah.
Ashford. Yeah.
Which I
that
didn't
they
like
were
him
going
at
to
first,
drink
but
together.
by the end, I really liked his character.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once they got
and that's
trapped
one of the
into
things I
that,
think the show does really well.
once
is
they got,
there's a
That
lot
character
of-
growth.
yeah,
I love.
Well, there's a lot of character growth, but then there's also this person seems shady, and then you find out why they're doing what they're doing, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense enough for you to appreciate them as a character.
When they got trapped in the
three-dimensional.
that area between the agricultural vehicles, and then they had to decide the only way out was one of them sacrificing the other for the other. That really, that whole thing was pretty cool to observe.
Yeah, and it definitely changed the dynamic of how people viewed him. Like how okay.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, we're not gonna make it in time. Darn it. Oh,
Maybe,
we might. Maybe
I hit it once.
So yeah, she's like at wit's end, like just beyond repair almost. And I hope that she can hold out long enough to realize that it's not as hopeless as it seems.
Well, it's less hopeless than it is for Naomi.
I mean,
we're still doing level 80. Oops.
80's fine.
I failed one.
Oh.
are you that far above 70?
I have 2 gems at 75, 1 at 73 now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, I do too, but mine all worked. Thank goodness.
Speaking of characters that we really like, the uncle from Avatar is like my favorite character.
Yes, Iroh is amazing.
Yeah. He's like the best.
Iroh.
Yeah, Iroh.
Yeah, he is like, yeah.
He's like the uncle everybody wants to have.
Well, and what's interesting is that he was not, if I am remembering the story correctly, he was not banished with him. He chose to go with him.
I think so. Well, he was kind of disgraced because he couldn't take the bossing say. Like and then his son died at some point, and then he kind of lost the will to keep fighting. And so then he more or less took over Zuko, helping to raise Zuko because Zuko's dad's a douche.
Well, yeah.
And banished him and scarred him for life and all that. In more ways than one.
Yeah. Yeah, right? The physical scar is only the tip.
But yeah, any scene that has him with a lot of dialogue is like my favorite parts of that. Some of my favorite parts of that show.
Yeah.
The voice actor that did it was great. The lines were great. Yeah.
Yeah, the writing was really good. His characters is well done.
And you could tell, like he's an old guy, but he's still really strong. He just chooses not to really need to use his strength.
Yeah. Have you gotten to the part of the story where he is in prison?
Which prison?
And then goes hardcore buff mode and because he only has time to work out, so might as well, and becomes very, very strong again.
I don't think we've gotten to that part.
Okay.
Because the Aang's friend Bumi was like hardcore buff old guy.
Yeah, he did it too. I'm pretty sure Iroh does it too.
But yeah.
All right, one more.
One more.
We want to do it up to 85, I guess.
Sure.
And then we'll do a few puzzle riffs, and then we can call it a night.
Yeah, sounds good. 53 million. Oof. Sorry.
You don't even need to empower it. I don't know why I empowered it.
Well, you want the extra level, don't you?
But I don't need it.
No, I need it if this is our last one.
I only need like 2.
Just cleanup crew, I guess.
There's a pylon up.
Sometimes I really miss having the leap ability.
You could always get it again.
Then I'd have to give
Oh.
up something else. For my build, what I have works better.
Yeah.
Plus, leaping
Like-
on controller isn't the best thing for quick leap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, leaping on controller would be kind of awkward.
I can't quickly
I wonder
kill
have they
one
changed
person.
that for the console version?
I don't know.
Because one of those things, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they changed it / scaled it in some fashion.
Yeah,
Pylon.
grab it. Got it. Holy, lots of stuff happening.
That's just Goblin.
Oh, between Gobnel's spiders and my arrow flew down, I was like, what's happening? Oh, there's a curse down here that we want to get.
This is dead end.
And I'm, I was almost stuck in fire. Not actually, but almost.
Yeah, my damage is not feeling like it's great
Pylon down here. You guys
at this greater rift.
Yeah, so I had to shift up my rotation a little bit. Make sure I drop the curse, and that I have enemies cursed. I mean, it doesn't help that I swapped gems and got the damage against elites reduced. But durability went way up for everything against physical except physical, so that's nice.
All right,
All of mine are
Jim
up to 7.
Fatal.
Yep.
Got it.
I need to go back.
I do believe I have puzzle ring or 3. Don't remember.
I've got 5.
I have about that many also. But we have to go back to title screen each puzzle ring.
Okay.
Or after we clear.
That seems silly, but fine.
It's because we have to reset the area after we kill everything.
Ooh, an ancient legendary.
I've still only gotten like 2 of those total.
I've gotten at least 2 tonight, if not 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got 2 right here. Corrupted Ashbringer and Fury of the Vanished Peak. Almost 4,000 DPS each.
You guys ready to do puzzle ring?
Sure.
I'm running out of
I could
space.
just put the puzzle ring in the cube.
Yep. Wait. Let's
You're
finish
running
this
out of
first.
space. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep. Puzzle ring in the cube. Yep.
My
Transfer.
16,000 gold repair bill. No.
Whatever are we going to do? Oh,
I can't. Not enough fury.
break all the things.
Yeah, including all the stuff at the beginning.
That's what you do, right?
It's true. But I have to stop and get gemstones sometimes. Oh. How are people on blood shards?
I spent most of them.
I thought I did, but we'll see.
Okay.
I got stunned.
I stunned him.
Good, but I got stunned.
Oh, I'm stunned right now.
There we go. Yeah, we got stunned for a while.
Yeah, everybody gets stunned.
Yeah, this is probably not the most kid-friendly thing right here.
Right? Luckily, he is not anywhere close by, and it wouldn't be so bad except that he
I am returning to
he
town.
keeps saying that he's scared of monsters, and I'm like, but they're not real, honey. They're not real.
But they're real to him at this age.
It's true. And it
Even though they're
makes
not
me
real.
mad. They're not real.
Luckily, my kids don't have that issue, really. They
Well,
kind of missed
he-
that phase, somehow.
And I thought he was going to, but then he didn't. And I was really sad. Because he was fine for a long time, and we actually talked quite a bit about monsters, and you know that you get to control the monster, you get to tell it to go away or whatever.
Oops.
But I guess he's
An ally has
he
departed.
uses that as his
The
reason
minions of
for
hell
wanting to
grow
get out of
weaker.
bed and to
I can't do that here.
to try and come sleep in my bed. So
I'm out. Yeah, and maybe it's helpful that there's two of them, and basically, since early in COVID, they decided they wanted to be roommates again.
aww.
And so they have a combined sleeping room, like, you know,
A new
two separate
ally has
beds,
joined.
but,
Yeah.
you know, opposite wall. And then they have their combined playroom now, instead of each having their own totally separate room. And it's been working out so far, and as long as it's not causing issues, then they can do that.
Cool.
Okay, ready for the next one?
Yep. You wanna do it? Where's
The vault
portal?
has been opened.
Enter.
I'm coming.
Good, because there were guys right at the start.
I'm sure you can handle it.
Nah.
I remember when Torment 16 was scary.
Right?
Ooh, Death's Breath. That's the first I've gotten of that tonight, I think. Maybe.
Oh, there's more death breath.
Will not be denied.
Yeah, I sort of wish they kept raising the maximum torment level.
You
Yeah.
mean other than in Greater Rifts?
Well, so originally maximum torment level was 12. And they bumped it to 16 a few years ago.
Was it that they need to raise that, or was it that they need to not let gear scale quite so much? Well, I guess you'd still have the Paragon doesn't have a max, so...
Yeah, well, and that's... Yeah. That's one of the reasons.
But realistically, if you're gonna do seasons, you should probably have, like, a maximum level.
Returning to town.
Yes and no.
Well, I think so, mainly because there's a high risk of burnout if there's not downtime between. I feel like. So,
Fair.
like, if you want to play, like, really hard and a lot for, like, a month, and then have a month or two away, it's a lot more sustainable than, oh, you know, I got to Torment level 275, and there was still more to go, and then the season ends, and it's like, okay, let's start over from scratch again. Here we go.
Well, but there are totally people that do that.
Yeah, but those people probably also make a living off playing video games. Or live in their parents' basement and
Sure.
are teenagers or whatever that can afford to play 12 hours a day.
An ally has departed. The minions of hell grow weaker.
Or what have you. It's hard for the average person to dedicate, you know, that kind of time
Yeah.
to any game. I almost hit exit game. Not that I've never played way too many MMOs or anything
Yeah.
in my life.
The
I
fact
miss
that on
Secret
WoW
World.
launch, I literally spent 2/3 of a month of the first month
You said
playing
on WoW? See, I dodged WoW for multiple months, and I was in college in the dorms,
Am I
and
grabbing another one, or are you? Who's
I can grab
I have
one.
another one on me. So I'll just.
okay.
Okay.
And I dodged it for the most part, and then I saw somebody else playing it, and they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "What's this?" And he's like, "Oh, World of Warcraft. You should check it out." And then I made the mistake of trying it, and yeah, I should have known better because you know I had played a lot of EverQuest
Okay.
prior to that, and I ended up playing a fair bit. Not like, I mean, I still made it through college and all that, so I had enough of the right limits, but
But that was your social group downtime after the week.
well, around the same time, I also met my now wife, so
Oh, okay.
trying to find that balance, you know.
Well, the balance is you get her to play.
Yeah, she's never been a
No.
big gamer.
Just because I like games. Yeah.
Yeah. Can verify, not every person out there likes video games. And yeah.
That sounds like blasphemy to me.
I mean, there are some games she enjoys, but by and large, she does not. She used to rip it up with Guitar Hero, though. She was amazing at that. She could kick
Yeah.
my butt all day
Yeah.
and all night.
Rock
So
Band
it
was
really,
my jam.
it's not that there are people that aren't into video games. It's there are people that are into different kinds of games.
She does not really into any game anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
she has some interest in like tabletop-y stuff sometimes, but video games, no, not really.
But
I need to go back.
but that doesn't mean that she is not into Guitar Hero. It's just that she hasn't played it recently, right?
I don't know if she would still be
Necessarily.
in it. I think that was something that we found common ground that we could both do together.
Oh, and that was the okay. That's reasonable.
And she was better at than me. Like, but to be fair, she also played violin and all that, so
She was musically inclined.
she's very much musically inclined, and I am not really. I did play trumpet for a bit, but not anything serious.
I played trumpet for almost 10 years. And then I realized I was never going to actually get good because I practiced, so I stopped.
Yeah. But she still plays off and on, and she has the kids playing. They've both picked it up and play
That's awesome.
some. And so the three of them can play, and I can take videos. It works out
See?
great.
That's fantastic. All right, I think I'm going to call it for the night.
You're done. Okay.
That was 3. Well, let me actually see. Yeah, I'm back up to 800
Oh,
million.
what was I at on currency? I didn't even look.
So, if you look at
1.2 billion. Wow.
Yeah.
your season journey progress,
Yeah, the last thing I have to do is is some solo stuff, it looks like.
are you looking at Conqueror?
I actually closed the game, but I looked
Okay.
at it earlier, so I
So
have to do
Oops.
the.
I saw be right back message up. Oops.
I don't know what it's called. The event basically thing. What do they call
the
it?
conquests.
Yes. So I have to do the 2 conquests and the level 60 rift.
So
solo.
so we had one conquest done for
No.
Destroyer.
But I haven't done it.
Yeah, the conquest that we did is 3 gems to 55. I think.
Let me step back in, because no, 3 gems to 55 was a separate line.
Sorry, 3 gems to 65. The on a good day achievement.
Okay.
That was one of the conquests.
So what's another conquest that we need to do?
Honestly, I think the easiest conquest to do is probably Sprinter.
Where's the conquest?
Under achievements,
Okay, give me a sec.
there's
I have to
the
reboot
achievement.
the game.
You press Y. Y accesses achievements. You go from career to season,
Okay,
and under season is conquests.
there it is. So we did the 1, the on a good day. Sprinter completes Act 1 through 5 at level in under an hour. Okay.
So that's hard. It's doable. I think we're gonna have to look up some guides, but I think it feels like it'd be very hard. There is boss mode, which is basically start a new character and
okay.
probably as a group of 4. I would have to, again, boss mode, I'd have to look up a guide, because a lot of like Sprinter and boss mode, they're both, they don't take any time at all. You just have to do things really, really fast.
We've actually done a little bit in Years of War. The Reach Greater Rift level 55 solo with a full bonus of 6 of the following class sets. We've done it with 1 when we had to do the
Yes. So here's the problem with that one.
That means
why
different
it's a
classes.
conquest.
Yeah.
There's only 4 class sets, 4 or 5 class sets for each class, which means you would have to level up a second character and equip their set to do the set dungeon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like Sprinter's probably going to be the one we...
Well, with that, I'm headed out for the night.
Okay.
So
I
will look up sprinter and boss mode guides and see which ones we can do. The other thing we need to do for Conqueror is use the Kanai's Cube to augment an ancient legendary item with a level 50 gem,
I saw that.
which means we need to level up a 4th gem that we are going to destroy
Okay.
as part of the recipe.
Okay.
So that's, we can basically run a bunch more lower level greater rifts, more 60s to level gems up to 50.
I'll help you guys
Yeah.
with this stuff, but I'm not worried about getting it for myself.
Yeah, the only thing I want is the stash.
But don't you have to complete everything for that?
No, it's just the
No,
one
it's just
more-
Conqueror.
It's literally the cube augment, a level 60 rift, and one more conquest.
Okay.
So
Oh, you haven't done a rift, a 60 solo? Okay.
yeah, but that I can do that. I can do that.
Yep.
All right. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for the
Good
game.
night.
Night.
And with that, I'm headed out for the evening. Appreciate people out there that watch and support, and I will see you all next time. Have a good night. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Really appreciate it. Have a good night.